With our athlete monitoring system here at RSP, we are looking to assess both fatigue and performance. So what we're going to do today is we're going to run you through some of the exercises that we monitor and use to assess both fatigue and performance. So for the movements that we're going to be assessing today, we're going to be looking at our vertical jump, we're going to be looking at a plyometric push-up, we're going to be looking at grip strength down by our side as well at a 90-90 angle, and we will also be looking at our athletes' body weights. So body weight is super important for all of our athletes, especially looking at trends that we have discovered that if you want to go D1 or play professional baseball, you're going to need to weigh at least 205 pounds. So with a lot of our younger athletes, we are trying to get them heavier, especially the guys who are weighing around 140, 150 pounds. We have to get them, into the gym and get them bigger and stronger. And one way we need to ascertain whether or not they are making progress is by weighing them every single day. So we've got some athletes at the moment who have managed to pick up plus minus 10 pounds and have gotten stronger, and their vertical jump and their grip strength have improved, as well as we have some athletes who've needed to lose some weight and recomposition their body. So tracking body weight is an essential part of every single day that we are here. And the other thing that we use body weight for is to also just ascertain how fatigued our athletes are. Usually if we are seeing large fluctuations or reductions in body weight, we can ascertain the fact that our athletes are probably somewhat fatigued, and we can then auto-regulate our training programs to ensure that we don't burn our athletes out and further increase the chances of injury. Okay, so the first exercise that we're going to be looking at is the vertical jump. So Sebastian's going to give us a demonstration of what we're going to be doing. So he's going to step onto the jump mat, and basically what we're looking here for is how explosive our athletes are and are we able to utilize the stretch shortening cycle. So go ahead and give us a demonstration of the first jump. So as you guys can see over there, that's just over 31 inches. And I mean, that's a pretty good jump. So what we're looking for in the vertical jump is we're not just looking for guys who are able to jump 31 inches. We're looking for our guys to obviously be getting heavier, getting stronger, and to still jump 31 inches. So another good example would be Alex stepping up over here. And he's gonna give us a vertical jump as well. Good. So he's jumping 31.5 inches. And I know when we spoke about it earlier in terms of body weight being a big predictor of success at a high level in baseball. So we spoke about earlier that going D1, you need to be at around 205 pounds. Alex, about 45, 50 days ago, was weighing in at around 183, 184 pounds. Today he weighed in at just over 192. So he's been obviously getting heavier, but his vertical jump has also been improving. So that goes towards the programming and his attitude and his hard work in the gym, and that is exactly what we want. We don't want our guys to just be getting bigger for the sake of getting bigger. We want them to be getting bigger and more explosive, and that is the case in point with his vertical. So what we're gonna do is you guys are gonna just do one more jump each, That's all good. So as you guys can see, I mean, Seb has been jumping for a reasonably long period of time, and his averages are well into the 30 inches. I think he's jumped the 34-inch before. So I mean, he had quite a big session yesterday, so he might just be a little fatigued from that. But that's exactly what we're using this for. So that is a great point for what we typically do over here. Is it's just not a performance metric, but also a fatigue indicator. Usually, if you're around 10%, or we see a 10% reduction in your jump height, we can somewhat auto-regulate your training to ensure that we are not burning you out or further fatiguing you, and that will go hand in hand with our body weight. So if your body weight is down and we are seeing reductions in your jump height, these are two signs that our athletes may be fatigued. So the next exercise that we'll be taking a look at is the plyometric push-up. So basically what we're doing over here is we are assessing our explosive capabilities for our upper body, not just our lower body. So we're gonna have Sebastian go through a plyometric push-up. So what we're doing here is we're doing a full push-up, and we are catching ourselves with relatively or somewhat straight arms in the top position, and then we'll be getting a reading in terms of our push-up heights over here. So can you give us a demonstration here, Seb? As you guys can see, pretty good form over here. Let's go again. Just like that. So as you guys can see, he's catching himself with relatively straight arms. We don't want to be catching ourselves at the bottom position, because that's kind of cheating the process. So we're going to keep making sure that we're catching ourselves with our arms extended. So another test that we run our athletes through on a daily basis will be our grip strength test. This is an exercise that correlates positively with throwing velocity, which means if this improves, throwing velocity improves. So what we have our athletes do is we do two different tests here, one with our arm down by our side, and then the second up here at a 90-90 angle. So we're just going to run you through some of this today. Basically what we do is we turn the device on, hand it to our athlete. So Alex is going to give it a big squeeze here by his side for 3 seconds and go. 3, 2, 1, perfect. And as you can see here, it's a pretty good reading, 140.2 pounds. And then what we do is we do the exact same thing on the 90-90 angle. So just up here by your side and give it a big squeeze. 3, 2, 1, good. And as you can see here, he's at 137 pounds. So the big indicator here that we're looking for is we're trying to stay within 5 kilos of each other, which is around 11 pounds. So I mean, if Alex was just over 140 pounds with his arm by his side, and then at 137 at a 90-90 angle, that's perfect for what we're looking for. Any greater deviations from that might show some instability in the shoulders, but this is not the case with Alex. So that is some great numbers right there. So in conclusion, this is what we are looking for in our athlete monitoring system. We want our athletes to get bigger, faster, and stronger. We don't want them to just get bigger just for the purpose of getting bigger. And what we can do is we get our athletes tested every single day. It takes 2 to 3 minutes, maybe 3.5, 4 minutes at tops. And we get our athletes through this on the daily. And this helps us ascertain whether or not our athletes are improving and where they are improving or where they are not improving. And that just also helps us decide on what type of programming each athlete needs. So if we see our athletes are improving in whatever facet, we can attribute it to that style of training that athlete might have. If we see big increases in vertical jump during a power block, we might see that our athletes are, or that particular athlete is prone to needing more of that style of training, and that just helps us make better informed decisions going forward. So with that being said, it helps us in terms of obviously tracking fatigue, monitoring performance, and obviously ascertaining whether we are improving or not improving, and seeing how much we are improving over not just the day-to-day basis, but over both our micro and macro cycles.